Greetings, fellow Whovians. Welcome to Timey Wimey Review. I'm going to have to be a little bit quiet. Sorry about the lighting here as well. I'm in a hotel room at this moment in time as a new episode of Doctor Who has just dropped. Boom. We'll talk about that in a second. I feel a bit like Simon Miller at the moment. If you've been watching any of his videos on his channel recently and on What Culture Wrestling, he's touring around America. Simon, by the way, you are amazing. And yeah, he's been doing his videos in random hotel rooms. And the reason why I'm in a hotel room today is, well, here's a clue. So yes, my future wife is going to absolutely kill me that I'm going to be doing this video at quite early, reasonably early today, this morning, before my amazing big day. But if you want to give me a wedding present, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. That'll really help me out. But anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about Boom, the third episode of season 1 of Doctor Who that's uploaded now on BBC iPlayer and Disney Plus. Of course, it'll be on BBC One later on today, on Saturday, the 18th of May. And it's the Stephen Moffat written episode. The former Doctor Who showrunner is back penning another episode, his 49th episode, ahead of the 50th episode, which will be the Christmas special later in the year. This will be my spoiler talk, not really a review as such, but I'll give a rating of the episode anyway. But yeah, this is just going to be full-on spoiler talk about this particular episode. So yes, spoilers, you have been warned. Let's kick off with a big spoiler. Varda Sethu is in this episode as Monday Flynn. So it's very random that we've got Ruby Sunday and now Monday Flynn. Very, very random. I was not expecting that at all. Obviously, Varda will be joining us in season 2 of Doctor Who, and there was a little bit of sort of like speculation that Varda could make an appearance in this season, and she has. And yeah, it was a really nice debut. Bizarrely, this happened as well when we had Clara being in the Asylum of the Daleks, as we know she was going to be a future companion. That happened when I came home from a night out, and yeah, we're kind of in a very similar situation here as well. And yeah, she did a great job. Yeah, the surprising appearance, but definitely a welcome one nonetheless. So very much looking forward to seeing her fully in Doctor Who for season 2. I saw a little bit of a clip of Russell Davies saying, you know, she will be coming back for season 2. How and why? Watch this space. Keep on watching. So yeah, it's a bit sort of open air of what happens to this character. I hope actually it will be her coming back as Monday Flynn. I think that'll be a very interesting dynamic in the TARDIS from what the discussions that the Doctor and Monday had, which I'll get onto in this video in a short while. Yeah, I don't want them to go down a very similar Clara road. If it's just, you know, we've been there, done that. If they do, you know, don't get me wrong, we're going to enjoy this character. We're going to enjoy Varda, whatever happens when she joins us fully in season 2. But yeah, personally, I think it'd be great if it would be Varda as Monday Flynn. I know I keep gushing at the effects, but my God, the effects were amazing for this episode. The whole look of this war-torn planet. Basically, the Doctor and Ruby have arrived on this very desolate, well, war-torn planet. There's no way of else of describing it. And the Doctor running out with his Doctor theme, amazing theme, loving that sort of call to action theme. And he steps on a landmine and he's stuck. And this was, Ncuti Gatwa's easily his best episode as the Doctor today. This is very much, not that I didn't think he was the Doctor in the previous episodes, but this was the sort of solid rubber stamp of, yes, I am the Doctor. And what I like about his incarnation of the Doctor is he brings out so much emotion, and I feel like we've barely scratched the surface on this one. You know, he's stuck in this landmine, it's going to go off if he steps off it. And you know, the range of emotions that he's had, you know, sort of nervousness, babbling on, panic, crying, anger, just an emotional roller coaster, and he sold it so much, particularly the scenes where sort of flash forwarding into this episode. So yeah, lots of spoilers. There's a scene where Ruby was going to shoot Monday but basically there's these ambulance robots, and she was going to shoot Ruby's going to shoot Monday. So this ambulance robot triages them instead of attacking the doctor. But then another soldier comes up, gets 2 and 2 and equals 5. Shoots, I should have said potato, really. 2 and 2 got potato. Shoots Ruby, and led to believe that, and Ruby died at that point. And yeah, the doctor's face, Shooty's face, when that happened, and trying to keep her alive, keep her sort of talking. Yeah, he sold it, absolutely sold it, and it was very tense this episode. I got suckered in. As soon as that soldier came up shooting Ruby, I was like, oh my god! Even though we know that Ruby's going to be fine because she's got adventures in Bridgerton and things like that happening in Doctor Who, but yeah, he sold it for me. The convince of, oh my gosh, Ruby could die at this point. I could, the Doctor could die at this point and blow up half the planet, because I think his basically his DNA. That's kind of all the sold on. I know I'm going bouncing back and forth on this one, but yeah, I love the setup of this episode. Stephen Moffat, yeah, he was back. This is like classic Moffat Who for me, because it just kept building and building and building. We had the Doctor stuck on a landmine, Ruby having to figure out how to get him off. But if he does step off, then he's going to blow up half the planet. And then this child comes into this no man's land. And then we had Farida Sethu's character, Monday. And yeah, it just went on a tear, really. I thought this was very well-paced episode. Compared to the previous episodes that we've had, this didn't have, or even it had like quiet moments, it didn't feel sort of a bit sort of flat or trying to just drudge on towards the end. It just had a great pace. In this episode of Boom, we touch upon a little bit of religion, in terms of these soldiers are actual religious figures, and this AI built computer from Villigard, which but is a definite callback from Doctor Who. I just sort of recognised the name, had a quick sort of research on this one just to cheat, but yeah, nice sort of throwback. I didn't sort of get the full references, so let me know in the comments below if you did. But yeah, I like the sort of chat that they kind of had about religion, and the Doctor saying that I don't, he doesn't really believe in it, but he respects, towards the end of the episode, he pretty much like respects that faith has a place somewhere in the universe, and I kind of hope that they carry that on in season 2. That's why I want Farida to carry on as Monday Flynn, because I think that would be such an interesting dynamic to throw in there, to sort of talk about in Doctor Who. And I felt for this episode they could have expanded that on a bit more, but whether that's something that they want to hold back for season 2 and beyond, fair enough. If they go down that road, I'm not saying that they are, I'm not saying that they're not, I don't know. But yeah, that's something that I felt was quite an interesting element to bring to this episode. We also had this young girl called Splice who lost her father, and when any of the people on this planet die, they basically turn into this sort of human space urn, that has a bit of sort of like holographic sort of memories as well. So it was, I kind of liked it. Was, some people might think it's corny, in terms of how it was presented in Doctor Who, but I kind of liked how they presented death, and not even if someone has died or they're dead, they're not gone forever, all here and up here, and and this is the thing. Doctor Who is a family show, and I think people do forget that. So there are going to be young children there that's probably going to be, asking questions about death and how that works and why that happens. Again, it was another element in the story that I appreciated. We also had another Susan Twist moment. She was this robotic ambulance, basically, like this. It kind of reminded me of the L1 robots, or those cleaning robots from Paradise Towers. I wish they did a bit of a callback from there. Again, they could have done a few more callbacks here in this episode. You kind of got that in the writing, in terms of, you felt like there was bits of 11th and 12th Doctors in Moffat's writing and dialogue. I felt like that when the Doctor was saying about war being profitable and business is booming, that sounds like something that Peter Capaldi's Doctor would have said. And obviously we had the callback of, my favourite is fish fingers and custard, I'll come back. And there was that sort of childlike elements that Matt Smith brought to the role as the 11th Doctor. But I also wish they did a callback of the 4th Doctor standing on the landmine in Genesis of the Daleks, even if it was something like a cheeky, oh no, not again, or, I know it would have kind of broke the tension, maybe, or maybe lose that tension that they were building up. But I felt they could have put that in there somewhere. Anyway, back to Susan Twist as the robot. She was kind of like basically the antagonist for this episode. And yeah, there was, again, we're sort of building to something. What, I don't know. I was thinking, is Susan Twist actually going to be Susan Foreman? But then again, would Susan lend herself to be this killer robot or robot that's gone wrong? Touching upon sort of basically AI going wrong as well. So yeah, I like that they sort of brought in AI, very sort of relevant at this moment in time in terms of technology and the sort of controversies behind AI. The one nitpick I would have for this episode, but it's not really this episode's fault, is there was a moment where Ruby and the Doctor realised that this is Ruby's first time on a different planet. Now that kind of made the previous episode, The Devil's Cord, the dialogue that it's been 6 months they've been travelling together, just absolutely pointless and sloppy. For me, it's sort of like, yes, okay, we're trying to do this build up of time and everything, and sort of establish that they're still quite new and getting to know each other. But at the same time, what have they been doing for 6 months? I know time is linear, but have they not gone to another planet? I don't quite believe that. So it kind of just made that line. I know it shouldn't be a bugbear, it's in the grand scheme of things, but I wish they took that line out from last week's episode. But overall, I am going to give Boom a TARDIS rating of 8 out of 10. Originally, I was thinking about a 7, but the more I've been thinking about it, the more I just really enjoyed that episode. And like I said, all the elements that they're throwing in there, religion, AI, family as well. Yes, we also had the Doctor saying father to father, so they really are touching on the family and the adoption as well. When Ruby was dying and the ambulance robot was scanning her and trying to figure out the next of kin, you had that sort of mystery moment thrown in there. So they really are building up that family and sort of and knowing where your place is in the universe, really building that up nicely. It was a great pace to this episode, great elements, fun surprise with Barada Sethu making her Doctor Who debut as well. And yeah, this is definitely Moffat at his best. And even if you didn't like the previous episodes of Doctor Who, it was definitely Doctor Who trying to do something different last week. This is pure Doctor Who, which I think a lot of people are going to love. Great pacing, amazing special effects. This planet looked amazing, one of the best that I've seen in the history of Doctor Who. I do recommend that you check out this episode, even if you felt like you was checking out of Doctor Who last week. I kind of understand where you're coming from, but yes, please do check out this episode. You will not be disappointed, especially ahead to next week's episode, 73 Yards, I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that felt like it is a Dr. Light episode, and we're really going to build up Ruby Sunday. Millie Gibson has been really good so far, and I think this will be her breakout moment. Like we had in this episode, this was definitely Shooty Gatwa's breakout moment as Doctor. I think we're going to get that next week with Ruby Sunday. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts to Boom. Is this your favourite episode of the new Russell T Davies era so far? Did you prefer this to Devil's Cord, or is it the other way around? I would love to know your thoughts in the comments. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, share and subscribe. Hit the clock bell for more notifications. Come say hello and follow me on Facebook and X, and do check out my other fantastic Doctor Who related content on the Timey Wimey Review TikTok page, and of course right here on the Timey Wimey Review YouTube channel. For now, it's time for me to go on my biggest adventure to date, and as the good doctor once said, you are wonderful, you are brave, and you are incredibly stupid. But I love you.